another episode of My Car Shop. This is episode 17, and I did check. This is episode 17 of the 47 Ford Street Rod Project. Beautiful, gorgeous day here in Michigan. We have a couple of these this week, then we're going to get some rain, so I want to make hay while the sun shines. But we'll let the lawn go for another time right now. We want to work on the car. So we left off yesterday and we had the passenger side front fender cleaned up and sanded down one more time, and the windshield trim all in primer and ready to go. So I had a little time last night and I thought about it. I came back out and I filled the little dent in the fender, and I also filled the holes in the windshield trim, so that's moved forward. My objective today is a couple of things. Yes, I want to sand more on that fender, and I want to fix that spot on the front so I can get that fixed today. And then I'm going to spot prime the spots on that fender that need to be touched for now, because I'm a little shy on material. Under normal circumstances, I would just prime the whole thing one more time, but I want to be sure I have enough material to get the driver's side fender done. That's going to be my focus today. My objective for today is to get both of these fenders yellow and get that driver's side fender in yellow primer and have it ready to go. So all I need to do is block it out and shoot it with paint. Have this one ready to go to shoot with paint. I'm hoping to have these things red by the end of this week. That's an aggressive goal, but I have the time, I have the materials. Why not? You got to do it, right? So I might just scuff down the windshield frame one more time and shoot that with primer, but I'm going to focus on that fender. And then the other thing I want to do is I got to pull the plugs out of that thing. One of the problems with the starting it up, pulling it in out of the shop and running it for 2 minutes at a time is it tends to follow the spark plugs. So before I put the front clip on, I'm going to get new plugs in it, get some better plugs in it. But for now, I'm just going to pull those out, throw them in the sandblasting cabinet, clean them up real good, and they'll be good to go again for another few weeks. So haven't done that in quite a long time, years actually. So it's just lagging a little bit and popping and farting and backfiring and stuff when you first start it up, and that's not normal. So I want to get that done. The other thing this morning, I got online, got on O'Reilly's website, and I ordered a new set of chrome tall valve covers for that thing, and I ordered some oil and a filter. The oil hasn't been changed in it in a long time, so I want to get new oil in that thing. So that should be here. I think most of it will be here tomorrow. The oil might not be here till the end of the week. Also ordered some valve cover gaskets for it so that we can get that buttoned up. So there's going to be a lot happening today in my car shop, so this could be a bit of a longer episode. We'll see how it goes, but we're really got big momentum now moving forward on this thing, and I'm hoping that within the next 2 weeks, because that's all we have probably before we get back to work at this point, that this front end will be red and back on that car. So let's see if we can do that. That may be a bit aggressive, but somebody's got to do it, right? So welcome to My Car Shop. Hope you enjoy the show. Okay, here, let's get a quick overview on the status of this one. A little rougher than I expected. Some rust popped through from underneath where I had lacquer primer spots. I had forgotten I had that on there. I thought it was sealed with the urethane, but that's okay. Got them all sanded out. You might have seen me using the DA sander on it to get that done. So everything looks good around here. Get you around to the other side here. Hold on just a minute. Everything looks good around here. There was some surface rust up here. Got that taken care of now, all good. Hit that with some etch prime, will be golden. There was a little spot there that really wasn't rust, but I DA'd that down just to be safe anyway. The only thing, there's a little damage down there. It must have got whacked from the other side down there. There's a little cracking in the primer down there. Don't think there's Bondo in that one spot. So I got to get the grinder out and grind that down, but that's not a big deal. And then the worst part is, and I wouldn't say it's worst, but something fell on it right there, and there's a big dent in there. So after at least 10 years of kicking around, moving, being in the shop through a major remodel. Not bad. I can't complain too much. So a little bit of rust on the inside edge here on the fender lip I haven't taken care of yet, but I will. I've got to move this fender anyway to get at that bottom edge. I can't work on it down there. My back's not young anymore, so I'll get my retaining wires cut off of here and get that fender flipped up where I can get at it and start grinding on it, and we'll go from there. The other thing that's going on here, you may have noticed, I put this one outside in the sun to let that primer bake on there real good, and just let it dry thoroughly, and I'll be able to get that touched up with the yellow primer today. I'll be squirting yellow primer on this one as well today, I'm pretty sure. So these fenders should make a huge thrust forward today. This one's going to require a couple more block sands, so it's going to require a Ferrowacca primer. That one doesn't need much, so they're getting close. Hey everybody, just taking a break. Got the passenger side fender in good shape. I just gotta go over it a little bit with some 320 wet. I put the etch and fill primer on there to just do a little scratch filling, so I won't have as much work to do in the 2K, but it's really turning out nice. I'm happy with that. I've got the driver's side fender all roughed back in. All of the primer cracks and everything are all fixed. Everything's looking good. I just filled in a couple little spots here and there that need to be done. I'll get you over there in a few minutes and look. I'm pooped. Realized that when I was in my 40s, this was a lot easier to do. But wow, I'm in pretty good shape. But I forgot how tough this is on the human body. Whew. But it's all right. We're getting her done. I'm really serious about trying to meet my goals as long as we don't run into any other problems. I dug around and found I had some more of the satin black for the inner fender wells for the engine compartment, so that's good. At this point, I'm tentatively thinking I'm going to paint the passenger side fender soon, in the next few days, get it mounted on the car, and then get the driver's side fender done and get it mounted on the car. The only glitch in that is I've got to get on the web and order the Eastwood manifold coating. The driver's side manifold is good. The passenger side has got some rust has shown up. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. So I got to decide if I'm going to just steel wool it down, which is probably what I'm going to do, and then recoat it, or if I'm going to take it off and sandblast it. But either way, it'll get done. And then once that side's done, I can mount the fender on that passenger side. So like I said, the driver's side manifold's good. I probably will recoat it while I have the opportunity, but I got to order that, so it's going to depend on the shipping time on that. But we're getting there. Everything's roughed in and blocked out, and it's looking pretty straight. I'll get some time-lapse photo of the next few steps of the process, but my phone has been dying, so I haven't been able to do as much video today. But I'm sure this will be really long by the time we're done. So that's where we're at. Just need to catch my breath and have some ice cold water here and rehydrate a little bit, because one thing about doing body work, if you've ever done it, for some reason, all that dust, you just get really, really dry. Whew. So there you go. We'll get back at it here after I catch my breath. Rock! Okay, so I think this fender is all recovered now. Got all the cracks taken out of it. Said it was mostly primer cracks. There was a couple little spots of Bondo I didn't realize were there, but not much. Took that out, redid it, and everything's good now. There's a little bitty scratch right there that I got to get some glaze on. That'll get out of there. This down here turned out really nice. It's got a couple little pits in it that I've got to fix. Most of that will come out when I block, but I think once this etch and fill primer is done drying, I'll just go over that with just a touch of glaze in a couple spots and sand it out a little bit, and we'll be good to go. Let's go look at the other fender over here now. Okay, everything down here looks great. This fender is ready to prime in the yellow. There's a little spot up here that I fixed. I want to get that, I'm going to just wet sand that just ever so lightly and get that touched down, but I am ready to bring this fender in the shop and shoot it with the yellow prime one more time, and then I'm just going to spot it. Like I said, I don't want to do all of it, but this fender is really close to being ready to paint. I dressed up a little spots down there as well. Just some spots where I wanted just a slight little bit of fill because there was some very minor scratches. So I'll touch all of that with the yellow primer and blend all that in. It'll be a solid yellow when I'm done with it. And then we'll just wet sand it with 400 one more time, and it'll be ready to paint. So that fender is all done. We just got to finish it up, right? There you go. All right, let's get some primer sprayed on these parts. Okay, apparently my exhaust fan died. Oh. Or you don't have the power on. Got to mix up a little more. I'm being too conservative, but I'm really wanting to make sure I don't waste any. Gonna wait for that to dry a little bit, and then we will shoot that one more time. It's got a good heavy coat on it, but I got a little left. I'd like to get a little more on a few spots there, so I'll give it just a minute and we'll be right back. Well, that's going to do it for another edition of My Car Shop. I'm pushed. But it was a good productive day. The fenders turned out great. I'm really happy with everything, and going to go get a shower and get cleaned up and just enjoy the evening. But thanks for watching. Didn't get a few things done that I wanted to. Tomorrow I'll probably get after that. The passenger side fender needs a final block. It's ready to paint. The driver's side fender needs to be blocked. A couple little spots need to be touched up. Probably shoot it with primer one more time. Could potentially be ready to paint by the end of the week. So really happy with the progress there. So hopefully the parts that I ordered for this engine will be here, but at this point I think it's going to be game on whether they're here or not. It's just a matter of how big of a pain in the butt it is for me to do it later. So that's where we're at today. And that's again, thanks for watching this episode. Stay safe out there.